28,000 performances to 35 million people in 30 countries. It features the music of legendary composer Alan Menken, lyrics by Tim Rice and the late Howard Ashman, and very importantly, it is produced by the creative team that brought you the original Beauty and the Beast. Singapore audiences are in for a treat with the upcoming season, which starts on March 21st, with a travelling company of 60, including a cast of 30 performers. There is nothing small about this production. Now, I understand as you walked in, there was a lucky draw, and has everyone put their business cards into the draw? Yes, no? If you haven't, you've still got a bit of time, so if you see one of the staff walking around, I will be giving away a pair of tickets to one of the performances a little later this evening, so make sure that you get your business cards in. Now, to give you a sample of what to expect with Beauty and the Beast when it comes to Singapore, let's take a look at this video.
Disney's Beauty and the Beast is one of the largest and most spectacular productions ever to be put on the stage.
Beauty and the Beast is still playing 20 years after it opened on Broadway because the story of Beauty and the Beast is a universal story that transcends language and culture.
Rising in the east, tale is all that's time, summer's all that's rhyme, Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast is a love story about loving somebody for who they are, not just what they look like, but loving everything about them.
Audiences who may not be familiar with the show at all are going to be laughing throughout the show. They're going to be crying throughout the show. And just visually, it's stunning. The lighting, the sets, it's done in a way that really captures the emotion of the moment in the show.
What makes it so popular is the message and the story. It kind of transcends all ages. It's fun, you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll kind of go through all the emotions, and I think you'll walk out, hopefully, kind of a changed person.
The girls buy the tickets, but the guys love it because it's funny and there's beautiful women in it, and I just think the guys are surprised, actually.
Look there, he comes, isn't he dreamy? Miss Hilary, Gaston,
People watch this and they are immediately grabbed by how strong the story is, and by the end, they're helpless.
The show has fantastic music in it, really great performances in the show. It's a beautiful, beautiful presentation.
The production that the audiences here in Singapore are going to see is the same production that all of the original designers 5 years ago came together and created.
We are taking a giant show around the world with a full cast and full orchestra and magic and illusions and the experience of a Broadway show. And so we're taking the whole kit and caboodle.
Singapore, don't miss this Broadway spectacular. Hope to see you in the theater.
For a limited season at the MasterCard Theaters from 21st March 2015.
Now, it is my pleasure to introduce the two leads from the show. Would you please make welcome on stage, firstly, playing the role of the intelligent and determined Belle, Ms. Hilary Maiberger. Hilary is going to sing a song from Act 2 right now. It's called Changing Me. It is sung by our heroine Belle as she returns to her papa from the Beast Castle. Belle has grown up through her experiences with the Beast and explains to her papa how that although she still values all that he has taught her, being out in the world and learning about life, has helped her grow into a young woman. Over to you.
There's been a change in me, a kind of moving on, though what I used to be, I still depend upon. For now I realize that good can come from bad, that may not make me wise, but oh, it makes me glad. And I never thought I'd leave behind my childhood dreams, but I don't mind, for now I love the world I see. No change of heart, a change in me. For in my dark despair, I slowly understood my perfect world out there had disappeared for good. But in its place, I feel a true life begin, and it's so good and real. It must come from within, and I never thought I'd leave behind my childhood dreams, but I don't mind. My parents who I want to be. No change of heart, a change in me. No change of heart, a change in me.
Hilary Maiberger, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Now, to join us on stage is the gentleman who plays the Beast. Would you please make welcome Mr. Darick Pead. This is possibly the most famous song in the show, and it is actually sung in the show by Mrs. Potts the Teapot as Belle and the Beast dance and fall in love. Here tonight, our Belle and the Beast will sing a modern version of the classic song that pays tribute to the pop version recorded by Celine Dion and Pead for the film. Ever a surprise, ever as before. you going night,
Absolutely.
show to show.
Keeps it fresh, yeah.
Beast,
Yeah.
if I may call you that.
Sure.
What personality traits do you bring to the Beast?
Well, I'm Harry, I guess.
I was.
I don't know. I think the great part about playing the Beast is that we've all kind of been there. I think that we've felt alone in our lives, and I think we've also felt what it feels like to be loved. And so I would say that's a characteristic that I feel like, the journey of the Beast is something that we've all felt, Because of somebody else's love, we no longer feel alone, and we also learn to love. And so I think that's something that I really love in playing the role.
And I'll ask a similar question that I just asked Hilary. 700 shows now, am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
In anyone's language. So, day after day, show after show, what do you do? Is it a similar sort of thing that Hilary does to keep coming up every night?
I think I trust the cast and the people that I'm on stage with. They're amazing at their job, and it's really fun to be able to perform with people who are just really special at it. And so it allows me, it actually requires me to be present and real, which then in turn is also really great because the audience is there to experience it with us live as we're putting the show on.
And the audiences are different every single day, so it's a completely unique new show for us, even though we're saying the same lines and singing the same songs. It's so fresh and new because you guys are you've never seen it before. It's your first time. It's your first Broadway show, or maybe it's your last Broadway show. So we take that seriously, and we're very proud of what we do.
Now, those 3 years, 700 shows, you've been to some pretty crazy towns.
Yeah.
So do you want to just tell the guys out there, Singapore is one stop on this fantastic journey that Beauty and the Beast is on at the moment. Start now to Singapore. Where did you start?
We started in Istanbul, Turkey, and then we went to Abu Dhabi, and then we went to
Thessaloniki, Greece, to Trieste, Italy, to Milan, Italy, and from there we went to Manila.
Went over to the Asian
Now we're on the Asian part of the tour. We're in Bangkok right now, and we'll be in Singapore in 2 weeks.
And how's any complete change, like the European leg to the Asian leg, any adjustments that you've had to make there?
The audiences are the biggest difference, European and Asian. I think the European, a little more reserved, a little more quiet. There was a language barrier there. We had subtitles, which we have never dealt with before, because we were on the US tour for 2 years, where it was like a rock concert, So that was surprising, but they still seem to really love the show.
Yep. Yeah, they really do.
The Singapore audience can get pretty crazy too, I know that for a fact. Now, very important message here, or very important question about the audience, and it is something that we have to get across. It's not just for children, is it? It's not a children's show. There is a bigger target than that.
Yeah, it's good for everybody, and it's something that I really love. I love watching, my dad coming and seeing the show and just crying and loving it, as well as my little niece, coming and seeing the show and just being inspired and loving the show. It definitely is for all ages.
Yeah, there's some really beautiful messages and real human emotions that everyone feels and goes through, so I think that's why there's such a wide range of audience members that come and see the show.
And plus, it's just a lot of fun.
Really
You get to watch Be Our Guest for 8 minutes. There's an 8-minute Be Our Guest song, and then you have Gaston where they're actually clinking, their live sounds of these pewter mugs that they're actually clinking and doing a percussion number with it too.
You led me into that very well. That was my next question.
You're welcome.
So thank you for that. Lovely segue. Now, I was just about to say that your choreography is sensational and very elaborate, and there is the pewter tankard scene,
Yes.
which apparently is extremely tricky.
Yes.
How did you guys pull that off?
Darick and I are not in that number
For good reason.
for a very good reason. It's precision, hard work. We have an amazing choreographer, Matt West. We have an amazing dance captain who keeps all of us on our toes to make sure everything is nice and clean and precise, because that number is so cool. What do you think?
Yeah, it's one of the best of the show.
And so, back to you, Hilary, very quickly. How does this role of Belle compare to previous roles, particularly My Fair Lady, for example?
Oh, wow. both very strong women, which is amazing. You don't see a lot of roles like that, you know? God, the difference, they both go through different journeys, but also the same. They just kind of grow into these amazing women, you know? Belle, she's your average 16-year-old kid who doesn't know where she belongs in the world. She's awkward, she doesn't really fit in, and I've been that person. So many people have been that person. And then you see her kind of grow into this amazing, confident woman who accepts herself for who she is, and in turn, she loves someone because of that, which is amazing.
The Beast costume.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like one of the easiest things to perform in.
It can be a little tricky, I guess. it's pretty big, and it's an award-winning costume design. All of these costumes were the Tony Award winner Animal Award on Broadway, and it definitely is big, but it really does tell a really great story, and it's fun to put on an award-winning costume.
He's scary.
Well, I noticed
That's
that.
good. I mean, even in real life, I mean.
And so this show that these guys are going to see, the Singaporean audience is going to see, how's it compared to the Broadway show? What's changed? What's new? What's fresh?
Everything is fresh. I mean, it opened 20 years ago on Broadway, and the original creative team came out and just reinvented this international tour. It's brighter, it sparkles more, there's so many little details, and it was so cool to be able to work with the entire creative team and see how excited they were. Even after 20 years of being involved in the show, they're still like, okay, what can we do? What can we do better? How can we make this better for everyone? And it's just really cool to be a part of something like that. So from the sets, to the lighting, to the costumes, to the music, everything has just been amped up, and it's just a fresher, magical show.
The million-dollar question is, what are you expecting from the audiences here in Singapore? This is Diplomacy 101.
Wow, well, it sounds like we just said we're expecting really great audiences.
We hope that they enjoy the show, because we love doing it, we love doing our job, and we're super excited to be in Singapore. Again, it's our first time, and most people's first time. I think one person is from Malaysia.
Malaysia, I think she might have been here before.
But other than that, we're so excited to share this with everyone.
And before I go to the audience for some questions, one last one. What's your first impression of Singapore?
It's awesome.
It is unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. Everything just looks new and
so
lovely
clean.
and beautiful.
The weather was perfect today with the storm clouds rolling in. I don't know, it felt magical. Why is everyone laughing?
There'll be a lot more of that.
Oh, okay. Should I bring an umbrella? Okay.
Does anybody ever have a question for Hilary and Darick? Don't be shy.
Be shy like me.
Anything you might just want to ask once, or invite them to take them to a hawker centre or something? Wow. That's cool. So, okay, we'll have a couple more questions. I'll go to my list of very intellectual questions.
We're ready for you.
How long are you in town for the show?
Opens March 21st.
Yeah.
Through April
19th.
Well, yeah, the great news is too, I think we've extended as well, haven't we? Tickets selling so very well, we've had an extension. So that's before we've even kicked off. We've put an extra, some shows on, so there you go.
Amazing.
So obviously someone's doing a good job.
It's not us, is it?
Yeah.
Back to the Beast again. I do want to ask this, and I should have asked it before. How long does it take to get ready?
It only takes about 25 minutes, and then on top of that, an additional 10 minutes to put the costume on. So the biggest part is the makeup, and so I just sit in the chair and somebody else does it. So I'm really good about being patient and letting him do his job, but it's not bad.
It's really cool to watch. In like 10 minutes flat, his face is completely transformed into someone else. It's
pretty
magical.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
All it takes is just like the nose, and then all of a sudden it's not me anymore. There's
hidden
there are a
Mickey.
couple of them actually.
No, I'm not going to say where. I don't know where or
There are a
when
couple
or
of
how.
hidden Mickeys in our set. Yep, that is true.
Always
That is
hidden
correct.
Mickeys in a Disney show.
Yeah.
So, there you go. When you come and see the show, there is a reference to the mouse. So make sure you keep your eye out for that. And I'm not giving it away.
I'm amazed you actually knew that. That's a secret
Where
fact.
did you find that out?
I'll read my notes. Hey, what else can the audience expect to take away from the show? I mean, it's obviously a show about love and friendship, but what else can they look forward to? You know, we're selling it here to these guys. What can they really look forward to the show besides you two fantastic characters?
I mean, if they know the film, expect to see the film brought to life, except enhanced, because we're real people. You know, we're not
Right.
cartoons. And
Well, I think what's amazing about that is that, you know, a movie, you just push play and then you become an inactive participant. Whereas the amazing part about live theater is that you are actually participating with us. And we look at the audience as the last cast member, the one that actually drives the show, tells us how fast or how slow to go because of their response. And so that's what I love about the experience, the theatrical experience of Beauty and the Beast, is that you actually get to become a part of it.
Yeah, the audience is very much involved, and it's live theater, so anything can happen.
And possibly will.
Yes, it does.
Obviously the costumes are Tony Award-winning costumes, as we mentioned earlier. How many changes do you go through?
I don't go through too many. I have the blue dress, of course the yellow ball gown, which everyone knows, and then a pink dress. So I have 3 changes, which is ensemble members have like 6 or 7.
And sometimes they go back to that costume and then put on another costume and go back to that one.
Yeah, but all the costumes are just unreal.
So backstage it gets a bit crazy there.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different show going on. It's choreography backstage. It's actually fascinating to watch, and no one knows what's going on. Which is kind of cool.
Well, I guess one of my last questions, I'm not sure how much time I have. We do have a question on the floor. Fantastic.
That's a great question.
I love watching Be Our Guest. That's one of my favorite. There's so much cool stuff going on, from the costume changes to the choreography to the champagne bottles and confetti. It's just like so exciting, and the audience is just like right there with us, which is really cool.
You actually saw one of my favorites, Changing Me, is definitely one of my favorites. And the way she performs it is just spectacular. And then on top of that, which is cool because that number actually isn't in the movie, so you can't watch the movie and hear that song because it's not there. So it's just, the set is in a way that it looks like the sun is going down, and it just is remarkably beautiful as she's singing this song about how she's had a change, and it's actually one of my favorite songs to listen to.
Oh, thanks, Darick.
Well, you're good. You're good.
And are there any local sort of references? Do you put any sort of Singapore references into the show, or do I just leave and shut up on that one and let that happen?
I'm gonna let you recline on that one.
Okay. Talk about letting the cat out of the bag. I won't do that. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please thank our 2 leads from Beauty and the Beast, Darick Pead and Hilary Maiberger. Now, I'd like to tell you that we're all hanging by our fingernails waiting for the show to come, because it is a true Broadway classic that everyone's looking forward to seeing. And as I said, there are extra shows that have just been put on, so that's even before we started, we're already putting on extra shows. Now, we have a lucky draw, so I will ask.
That was a little sneaky.
I'll ask you to have a jumble around in there. I have some tickets in my pocket. I do indeed. Right, we have Jamila Marie. You can't avoid me now, you have to come up and get this, because Hilary's going to present those tickets to you. So come on up, Jamila. Congratulations. You also have to come up and sing a song.
Yes, you have to sing a change in me. I'm just kidding. Here you go. You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Jamila. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please thank the two leads from Beauty and the Beast, Mr. Darick, Pead, and Hilary Maiberger.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. We look forward to seeing you in March 20.